This is question 142 from the exam 2. It's asking you to write the electronic structure of sodium. To find the electronic structure, you need a periodic table. The periodic table will be like your map. S, P, D, and F are energy levels. And the volume of space that these electrons occupy are called orbitals. The orbital is a little box. And it can hold up to 2 electrons. It also is where the electrons are mostly found. So, the S level consists of 1 orbital. That means that it can hold up to 2 electrons. So it's 1 and 2. The P1 has 3 orbitals, which means it can have up to 6 electrons. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Always remembering that you draw the arrows pointing up first, and then you go back and draw the ones pointing down. D has 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 orbitals, which means it can have up to 10 electrons. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. F has 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 orbitals, which means that it can have up to 14 electrons. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. But sodium only has 11 electrons, so we don't need to worry about that. Always make sure that the arrows have the same number as the electrons in the sodium, because that's what it means. So if you have 12 arrows for sodium, that means you did something wrong, because it would only have 11 since there are 11 electrons. So to write it down, we need to know how to go through the periodic table. So it's 1s, these are the levels, and these, if you go straight across, this would be 1, this would be 2, this would be 3. So it would be 1s squared. Then you go to here, 2s squared. Then it's the p, so it would be 2p6. Then it's 3s squared. Then it would go to 3p6. That would be 4s squared. But for D, you always subtract 1, so it would be 3d10. And then you go back to 4p6. Sodium is up here. Sodium, it stops after the first electron, so it's not filled. So what we would need to do is know how to navigate. So it would be 1s squared. Then it would be 2s squared. Then you go to 2p6, it's filled. Then you go to 3s, and it's not 3s squared because there's only 1 electron left in order to be 11 electrons total. So it would be 3s1. So how you would write it would be 1s squared, because it's filled. Okay, then you go 2s squared. Then it's 2p6. And finally, 3s1. Always remembering that the order of filling the orbitals is from lowest energy to highest energy. So you need to do S first and then P. You can't do P first and then go back to S. And we can also draw it if it's easier. So it would be 1s squared, 2s squared, 2p6, and 3s1. And we would just have 1 pointing up. To make sure, count the superscripts, and those should add up to the number of electrons. So it's 2, 4 plus 6 is 10, plus 1 is 11. So that is right.